This episode of Twin Speaks contains spoilers.
Welcome to Twin Speaks First Watch, First Listen of Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Francis Conroy, damn it, and Brett Collin, directed by Todd Phillips and written by Todd Phillips and Scott Silver. I'm your co-host Pat. You can find me on Twitter at @KidCombo_, and I have what did you just hit?
I'm thrashing around over here.
I'm of course joined by my twin brother and co-host. You can find him on social media at Antimonium. It's Andrew.
I fucked up my mic, and then I went to go fix it, and it hit me in the mouth, and then I hit the blinds over here. I'll
you
just
have the table
sink back to my
too.
corner. Yeah, it was rough.
When Dad was here, he was sitting in that corner a lot.
Was he?
Yeah.
We have a dad? I do.
We haven't done one of these for a while.
Yeah, did you look what the last one was?
No, I didn't want to.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When was that? What day was that?
I don't know. Don't do that now. Don't start this off with us Googling things. It's way too early.
October 1st. That's a long time ago.
It is 1 month away. 1 month and a bit.
Damn.
Anyways, yeah, so we saw a movie. I guess that's it. You got the news over there.
Oh, yeah.
You start us off.
I'm getting distracted.
You're just like looking around going like, is somebody going to take charge? Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Bit of news.
We're not doing all. Yeah, we should say there's a lot of news.
There's a lot of news that we missed, and we're not going to go over all of it. It'd be ridiculous to do that.
You're in a weird mood, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back in the swing
of
this.
Oh.
Oh.
That what? That was me.
I was copying you.
Yeah, once.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Wait. Sonic the Hedgehog.
What is happening?
Has officially gotten its first new trailer featuring the revamped Sonic model. Theater release date is now set for February 14th, 2020.
Yeah, so I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about the time between when all like that first trailer got released to now, and then because now like today is basically the release date for it.
Yeah,
like it was supposed to be like next week or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's 3 months, and it's 3 months now from like today until its new release date.
Good.
So basically, how the fuck did they put together a whole new? Because it's not just like the podcast I was listening to. They were talking about like it's not just like a new like look. It's like all new animation.
Yeah.
The trailer's different. You've got all these new like different movements and shit.
Well, because like there was even bits in that trailer that they changed.
Yeah. Which is not like abnormal, but I think like the weird thing is
not
like
them just copying and pasting.
He's
a skin
holding
onto
something, and now he's not holding something, but his arm's lower, like that sort of stuff. Like that's the more complicated stuff. So it's like, okay, like I'm totally on board with it's all a ruse, you know, like it's all just to build hype.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we did this like really shitty version. Maybe we should release this, knowing full well that that's not what we're using.
Yeah. So
I don't know,
because they only had one trailer for the first one, right? Like it was just that trailer that came out, everybody hated it, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it doesn't make me want to see it anymore.
I think it does look so much better though. Like that's the thing, is that like it looks so significant, like so much like more like the character, that it does kind of make me more interested with it. Also comes across as much more like a buddy cop film, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
You get more Jim Carrey being Ace Ventura Jim Carrey. Like,
he's like freaking out in that like science lab / van thing that he's in.
Well,
there's like more James Marsden
Grinch
in this too.
Yeah.
Like he's in it a bit more. Definitely more Sonic. Like that whole intro bit of the trailer where he's like off planet and he's like, "Hi, I'm Sonic." It's like,
I think that was just for the trailer.
Oh, you don't think that's in the movie?
No, they're not gonna do like exposition that heavy.
You don't think so?
No.
It's a
trailer.
cartoon.
It's a trailer. I think it's just for the trailer.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that's how they would start the movie.
No, I would hate that. I would just leave. I'd be like, I know, I saw it on the poster.
I saw the trailer.
Hi, I'm Sonic. I should hope so.
Hi, I'm Sonic. Wait, what?
And you might be wondering how I got
Wait,
myself
what movie is this?
might be wondering how I got myself into this mess. No, it's a movie.
Voice
man.
changes halfway to
I'm
Will
sure
Forte.
you're gonna tell me. Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm sure you're wondering how I got myself into this.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make me want to see it anymore. Like
No.
I'm not. I
a
was
little
more
interested.
interested when it was weird because I
Oh.
thought I was interested in it being weird, but now it's like normal now.
Apparently, there's some places like in the world. It sounds ridiculous, but like in the world, that are like totally against the new version of it.
What?
That are like for the old weird one because of how weird it was.
Like where? Who would care enough?
Vietnam.
What? What
Pu-
podcast was this?
Papua New Guinea.
What? Croatia. There's like
Croatia. Budapest.
That's not a country.
The Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo. I was talking to somebody about this before. Any country that has Democratic Republic or something Republic is the opposite. The People's Republic of China is not a democratic or People's Republic. It's a communism. It's like they're communists. Like it's not the Democratic Republic of Congo is not a democratic republic. Anyways,
It's so far away from that. It's a complete joke. It's a farce.
it's a ruse.
Okay.
Really trying to use the word ruse a lot more.
So this is directed by Jeff Fowler and written by Patrick Casey, Josh Miller, and Oren Uziel. Starring Ben Schwartz, James Martin, and Jim Carrey.
What do you think of Ben Schwartz?
I don't know.
It's like a higher register that he's doing, which is
Yeah.
kind of throwing me off. But
Well, I don't know if I noticed his voice before.
I really hope it's funny.
Yeah, I hope it's funny too.
Because
But
I know this is more like general audience, like you're just sort of like trying to get them in type
Yeah.
thing.
But it's weird. I don't think I noticed Ben Schwartz's voice in the first one because like that's not the focus. It was like what he looked like.
Right.
But this one, it was like almost immediate.
Yeah,
Once you were like, oh, this
which
is
I think
normal
is
looking.
good because you're sort of drawn away from maybe the weirdness
Yeah.
of like.
But I think it's a bit of that that Hollywood thing now where it's like instead of having like someone try and do a voice, an already existing voice, they're just using an actor's voice.
Yeah.
So like Detective
like, do
Pikachu
your voice. Yeah.
was just like Ryan Reynolds just doing his own voice. This is just Ben Schwartz doing his own voice. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like he's doing a character. It doesn't really sound
like a little bit, but not really.
tiny bit. It sounds like a tiny bit cartoonish.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's but I don't think it sounds bad. It sounds fine.
Yeah.
But obviously it's like the context of the trailer. But him like just sort of talking and making jokes and
Yeah.
stuff was fine. I didn't find it was that
They just like
distracting.
pumped the recording studio just full of helium, but just like let a little bit out, so it's not like too noticeable. You know, like it's not like not like way up here. It's kind of like right between.
It's at the end of a sentence.
Like stuff isn't floating away yet.
Because then he's inhaled as he's talking. So
No,
he's-
it's at the
they're-
beginning. It's at the beginning, so it's like starts really high,
And then
but
it
just gets lower.
disappears.
He's like, "Hi, my name's Sonic." That's literally as high as my voice can go.
Oh, that's funny. You can't go any higher than that?
I
That
don't
wasn't
think
that high.
How high can you go?
Hi.
Oh my god, there's a dwarf in here.
Hi.
Like a mythical dwarf, not like
Sonic.
somebody with dwarf.
What? Sorry.
I said not like a mythical dwarf, not like a person with dwarfism.
Oh, yeah. Do you have anything else about that? Batman director Matt Reeves has confirmed that Andy Serkis is officially Alfred.
Some people legitimately think that he's going to be a CGI version of Alfred. That doesn't make any sense.
That would be so funny if he himself didn't think that he was old enough, so then they CGI'd an old person onto it.
Yeah, like what? So he's just gonna like act like an old person, but they'll just like put Michael Caine's face on him. No, it'll be him. Like Robert Pattinson is supposed to be like somewhat younger.
Who? Sorry, Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be somewhat younger, so like it makes sense that Alfred would be between that.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. I hate that so much. What idiots out there are like, he's gonna be a fully CGI character.
I would love it if it was like him and he's like doing sort of normal acting, and then one scene he's like the bear from the Jungle Book.
Yeah, he's the bear. Then he's like Caesar from
he's like
Planet of the Apes.
walking around banging his chest on, and then like communicating with sign language.
And like we tried to get him to do other stuff. He just like instinct.
He just
takes
won't
over.
stop.
Yeah, he just won't stop. He won't stop being animals. He mistook the thing like Alfred, and he just starts acting like penguins and bats and shit.
And then one scene, it's not him, it's that other guy from Planet of the Apes that did a bunch of the CGI stuff.
The other famous guy that does all of it. Yeah. The two of them are just like banging.
And that guy's CGI Andy Serkis.
He's a CGI Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is a CGI Michael Caine acting as a bear or a bat. Anyways, yeah, this is funny that they like confirmed it, because I think he didn't confirm any of the other ones.
Yeah,
like he didn't confirm.
Jeffrey Wright got confirmed.
Right, but they didn't confirm the Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell.
No, that one's
by, like,
a rumor.
An article.
Yeah.
No. That one was like, it was like confirmed by Variety or some shit.
Oh.
It wasn't like Collider, but it was like Variety or one of the other ones, and so was Andy Serkis. They were like together.
Oh yeah, okay, I think I read that one.
But then Matt Reeves confirmed this one.
Yeah, because he like tweeted about it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then Colin Farrell is rumored to play the Penguin.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know, like Penguin is such a cartoony character.
Well,
but so is, and I guess that's the thing. So is the Riddler.
Yeah,
like they're both very, very cartoony characters. So they must be going in like a sort of completely different direction.
I think, like some of the stuff I was reading was like, oh, this is going to be Long Halloween.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
It makes sense for them to do all of these characters, because the Long Halloween has Calendar Man, it has the Riddler, Penguin, it has all these characters.
Well, Two-Face is even rumored to be
Two-Face is like
still
origin stories in Long Halloween, so it would make sense for them to do it as well. But yeah, I think that's what it'll end up being. Like you'll get more confirmed, but like Colin Farrell as the Penguin could be like they could end up doing what they did with Gimli in Lord of the Rings, make him short, or they just have him normal height. Like it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it matters that much. That's a liberty they can take.
Yeah, maybe he's just like a mob boss.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, and then Paul Dano being the Riddler, I think is interesting. I don't know if we ended up talking about that, but
no,
I quite like that. I
think
do too.
That's such a cool. He's such a good actor too. Like
him in anything. I'm
him in There Will Be Blood is like unreal.
Jeffrey Wright, it's great.
So great.
Everybody loves Jeffrey Wright.
Somebody else got rumored, but then apparently she's not. Everybody was like, "Oh, she's Batgirl because
Jamie Lawson."
Black.
Jamie Lawson was,
and then they said no, she's supposed to be just some politician or something like that.
Yeah, see, I read something too, and they were like, "No, she's like Barbara Gordon,"
which would be sick.
Yeah,
like I'd be into that too.
Which would make sense why, because they're connecting her to Jeffrey Wright, then, right?
Right.
Because
and that's what I mean. Is that like it would make sense if that's what they did. But
I think that'd be cool.
I don't think that's what they're doing.
No, this movie's also so far away.
It's 2022, isn't it?
2021. It's still 2 years away. I mean, it makes sense that they're doing all these casting, and obviously it's like such a big movie, so it's always going to be talked about. It just in
leading
the
up to it,
day-to-day sort of like layman's, everybody's talking about it kind of thing. But fuck, man, it's so far away. 2021. Like, we don't know anything about the story or anything. Like, it's just casting, and it's happening like trickle effect kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's how they keep the buzz going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
still cool. I'm excited for this. It just seems like a different direction, which is cool.
Yeah.
You're getting like actors that are actors. You're not
Well,
getting
yeah.
like comic booky people.
And maybe that's
You're not getting The Rock, you know? Like, it's like you're getting people that are like good actors, like Robert Pattinson, Jeffrey Wright. Like, all these guys have like, these are accomplished actors.
and maybe that's an effect of the Joker too.
Yeah,
Having
maybe a little
Joaquin
bit,
Phoenix, who's, I mean, like so many people's like favorite actor of the decade. Kind of like he's an amazing actor, and he's been in so many good movies. For him to do this kind of character, and even like the movie was even like Martin Scorsese was attached to it at one point too. Like, I mean, we'll get into all that, but having actual actors, great actors playing these characters gives it a little bit more weight than just a superhero movie, I guess.
Exactly.
But yeah, speaking of There Will Be Blood, Paul Thomas Anderson announced that he has a new movie beginning production soon in 2020, and it will be set in the 1970s, centered around a high school student who is a successful child actor. Sounds really interesting, and I also didn't realize that it was like 2017 that Phantom Thread came out.
God dang.
Yeah. Apparently they're already casting and everything, but that's all anybody knows about it, is that it's just like this. He's just doing like a high school movie, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
What was the other one they did? With Mark Wahlberg. What movie is that?
He did one with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg, isn't it? The one where he's like a porn actor?
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the 70s, 60s maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's exciting. Anything new from him is great. Like him and Paul Dano kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've also gotten a new trailer for the new Scooby-Doo animated movie, which we had talked about a long time ago because Will Forte was casted in it.
Yeah. Will Forte and like
Zac Efron, Amanda Seyfried, and
what's her face
Gina
from?
Rodriguez.
Yeah, her.
So, did you watch the trailer for this? Yeah, what did you think of it?
I honestly, like, I have no opinion because I don't care.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because like we had talked about it before, and there's like relatively big names, and it's like it's a big studio that's doing it.
Interesting to me whatsoever. I think it's just it's a little too plain. The origin thing is like maybe interesting, but like I'm not like
who's asking that
begging
question?
For
who cares?
A Scooby-Doo and Shaggy origin story. Like I don't care.
I thought the whole thing was like that they were just there. They were just friends. They just have like the Mr. Ink. That's it. Yeah. Who's asking for more details?
More detail about how they met and shit like that. But so, I guess like where do you go otherwise? Like do you recreate like one of the millions and millions of Hanna-Barbera stories? Hanna-Barbera? Yeah. Stories were like, I don't know. It's not interesting to me whatsoever.
No. And I read this thing that said they're working on the Hanna-Barbera
universe or something like that.
Cinematic universe. It's like, what? Why? Is that really necessary?
Because there's an untapped pool of characters and horrible, outdated racist stories. There's like so many, like Flash Gordon's Hanna-Barbera, I think.
Yogi Bear. Flintstones?
Yeah. And,
Jetsons.
Is He-Man Hanna-Barbera? I'm just trying to think of like that animation style, so like classic. That's what I just keep thinking of.
It's that one where it's like
they never run anywhere. It's just like the background moves.
I'm kind of curious now what the other ones are. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Who? It's like a person. It's two people's names. Hanna-Barbera. Oh my god, this is the most uninteresting part. We're really starting strong, bringing this podcast back.
But why don't you just cut this out?
No, never. Television series.
Flintstones, Yogi Bear, Top Cat, The Jetsons,
Johnny
Quest. Oh, that's interesting. The Atom. Sinbad Jr.
Sick.
Space Ghost.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Space Ghost. Abbott and Costello cartoon show, Birdman and the Galaxy Trio, the Fantastic Four.
What?
Yeah, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Like, yeah, let's do that one. Scooby-Doo, Harlem Globetrotters, Josie and the Pussycat.
Harlem Globetrotters? What?
Yeah, Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. Yeah, there's just like, it's just all this Super Friends. Like, there's a very Addams Family, like such a particular look.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you could redo those, but like, are you really gonna like make a fucking cinematic universe out of that? That's so dumb.
That seems like so much work.
I will say, like, the Scooby-Doo, like the show, the movie looks like it. The animation looks good,
Yeah.
but who the fuck
That's
cares?
it. I mean, the voice acting was the same.
I thought it was boring. Actually, I thought like.
Well, that's what I mean.
Zac
Like,
Efron was kind of just like very plain and like.
and then Will
just-
Forte was just Shaggy. Like, there was really no way of telling it was Will Forte.
Yeah,
don't
absolutely
know.
not. You have no idea.
Anyway, I just thought it would be interesting to talk about. It's like kind of just weird that they're going along with it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, and then last piece of news, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has gotten a sequel date. So there'll be a second one of those, April 8th, 2022.
Which was that? Sorry.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah, right.
sequel.
Apparently, they got the rights to the Japanese Spider-Man that's supposed to be in this. And
Really?
It's like not connected to, like, it's literally just like this weird like Power Ranger Voltron type Spider-Man.
Whoa.
That's not really like Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, but he's gonna be in it apparently or something.
Okay. That's cool.
I hope they use Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, but
It's
him.
like they teased it at the end.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that'll be more his story. Because like the way that they had it there, it was like I could see them doing that where they sort of focus on him and Miles Morales sort of together, but have a lot of him.
I think it'll be like it'll be into the like Spider-Verse, like the comic more, because this is such like an intro to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think?
I think this will be like
what are they called? The
vampire, like
yeah,
Spire Killers or whatever they're called. I think they'll start doing that, but like, how
That'd
do you
be cool.
do that without like
Making it-
crossing a line? Because that's like a pretty violent like.
Yeah, and a little bit cheesy too. People might just be like, okay, so they're vampires.
That only drink spider people blood.
Yeah.
I think it'd be sweet.
I think so too. Yeah, that's pretty much it
Pretty
for
cool.
news.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot.
That's fun.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the movie now?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Francis Conroy, and Brett Cullen. So the movie is set in Gotham City. A mentally troubled comedian, Arthur Fleck, is disregarded and mistreated by society. He then embarks on a downward spiral of revolution and bloody crime. This path brings him face to face with his alter ego, the comedian. No, wait, Batman. No, wait. Joker.
What? Did you read the right description there? That was
Yeah, I was
weird.
making a little joke.
Yeah.
Making a little Joker joke.
Yikes. What did you think?
Um,
I keep telling people when they ask me that. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more that I liked it.
Oh, really?
Now,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
But okay, so the whole movie is like it doesn't feel like a Todd Phillips movie. It feels like a Martin Scorsese movie. The way that it's styled, the way that it's written, the way that it's basically paced, like the entire thing feels like Todd Phillips was like, okay, we're gonna do this movie. I want to do it in this style, which that's a very common thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of choose how you want to make the movie, but really leaned into doing it like in a Martin Scorsese style, because the movie so much reminds me of like Taxi Driver or I've never seen King of Comedy. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I've never seen that, but apparently it's similar
like,
to that
yeah.
as well. Like even the bit with Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
and then him being on like the talk show. But I like that. That's not like a criticism. It's actually I like that style of it,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed like even like the graininess of like the it was like in the 70s, I guess 70s 80s maybe.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember. And like there was a graininess, the colors to everything was really cool. I really liked that whole sort of, and then how it was like kind of hyper violent in bits.
Yep.
But yeah, I liked it. But then there was like bits of the writing that I just thought was not very good. And I mean, the one that I keep telling you is like, he's like, oh, there's like the bit where he's like smothering his mom, and he goes, oh, I used to think my life was a comedy, but now it's a tragedy.
No, vice versa.
Yeah, right. Sorry,
sorry,
vice versa.
that was right, yeah.
Tragedy and then comedy. That bit, I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, this is garbage. Who wrote that? Like, I know that there's a reason, like, they're trying to do it in, like, his voice, so he's, like, he's struggling. He's like, oh, I figured it all out now. Yeah. I had it all wrong. But surely there's a better way of doing it. Like, I almost would have enjoyed that scene, if he just smothered his mom and didn't say anything. He just did it. That line to me, like, took me out of it. And it's, like, such a minuscule part of that movie, too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you for, like, a lot of that. I think, like, the writing does kind of, like, it's not all bad. I'd say like 90% of it's good or like fine.
Yes, I would agree.
But there's like there's that scene. There's the scene where he is telling the second joke on the talk show where he said, what do you get when you like don't support like a mentally ill like it's a little bit too red pilly or like incel-ish. Yeah. And like I get it, and like I get what they're trying to say. It just it comes across as kind of like a little too on the nose. And like everything up to that is so good because he's kind of just making you uncomfortable. You're squirming. You're like, you don't know if he's going to tell the joke that he's going to tell. Like, instead he goes off the rails and does that. Yeah. So there's different bits in it. That also seemed kind of like out of character to me because everything up to that was like, he's an idiot. Yeah. He is so dumb. Like, he can't physically write. And then you realize that maybe he's not necessarily dumb as much as he has experienced so much physical and mental trauma, and that he is just a mentally ill person, and that he just physically and like cognitively cannot write or converse with people or can't read facial expressions or whatever it is. So that end bit is so like a little out of character for me, but maybe that's just something he's practiced that they don't allude to. Like I don't know. Like I could rationalize it. I feel like it's not in character. The rest of it's all in character. Yeah. I think that even with that like cheesy line, he does say shit through like the movie that's exactly like that. So I think it's very on brand. And I think it just works better as like an inner monologue, not necessarily a monologue. Sure, and
I don't think maybe the timing of it was right. Like, or maybe everything else seems
way to say it.
Yeah, and like him having that same where he's like saying it to other people, and it's like, oh, that was kind of funny. But I guess that was the timing, how he was saying it to himself or saying it to his mom, but nobody was listening, and it was like meant to be sort of this one. It was like, oh yeah. This is sick. Yeah. I just came up with this line.
And that's, I think, what works really well in this movie is that it gives the illusion that he is a good comedian, that he's, like, doing well, that his jokes land and shit like that. But then when they kind of do that flashback type thing, you realize he's imagining all of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's, like, part of it is you look at some of these jokes and you're like, these are fucked up or these are, like, not funny or not good. And then he basically, like, they gave the illusion of him doing well, but then they flash back to it, and you're like, no, he sucked. Yeah. So that line kind of stands out and says, like, okay, this is something he would probably write down and say or use as a bit, and maybe just, like, said it
like he had his notebook, and he's written it. Sure, I agree.
But like the rest of it, there's like bits. I think the biggest one is my like biggest gripe with that is just like off the rails. He all of a sudden is like so smart. Like it comes across it's just a little too out of character for me. Even then he bounces right back into character. So it's like I think they had this line. They really wanted to fit it in, and it's a little too shoehorned in instead.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but everything before that's great. Even after that, when he kills them, he kind of just like is the same as he was. Like he just kind of goes up to the camera and he starts like doing weird shit and like, so there's that bit. And then like even after that, when he's in the asylum, he's like kind of being weird. And it's just, it all on brand except for that like, literally 5 seconds.
Should we explain what the movie is? I mean, at all? So basically, it's just like a standalone.
It is.
And like there was a lot of people before this movie started that were worried about it being too like.
People thought this was going to be the soapbox that incels wanted.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is. I really don't think it is.
No, I don't think so either. And I think that a lot of that stuff that got pretty overblown. And I'd say that maybe that's a lot of people who didn't see the movie, who don't really plan on seeing the movie, but want to just sort of complain because there was even that bit about Todd Phillips complaining about he can't write comedies or direct comedies anymore because of woke culture. It's like
I think
what?
He's
How
kind
is
of
that?
an odd guy, like, and I think this movie kind of. That's why I think people were sort of like a little apprehensive about like what this was really gonna be.
Yeah, but like I don't know.
I don't think it touches.
But the thing is, like his comedies were never that good, so I don't get that.
It's I think it follows Arthur Fleck.
Yes,
who is a clown, like a literal clown.
Yep.
For a clown agency called Ha Ha's or something like that.
Yeah.
And he is kind of just like hitting his head against the wall, and he really wants to be like a literal stand-up comedian, but he's doing this on the side, and then one of the guys there gives him a gun to protect himself because he gets beat up,
because he gets kind of jumped, and then they steal his sign.
So they give him a gun, but then he like drops the gun at work at a children's hospital, which ends up being kind of funny because like
so that's a lot of it
telling them to be quiet, but like everybody just saw him drop a gun.
There's like a lot of bits in this movie where his physical comedy is unreal. It's so good. Like there's like that bit where the cops come up to him and ask him about like something.
The door.
And he walks into the door, and it's so funny. And
because
then
he's
like
painting
even
himself,
how he drops the gun is funny.
Yeah. Well, even like jumping ahead when he walks into that door, it's the way that he does it too, where he like before that he's trying to act like he's like tough or he knows what he's talking about, and it doesn't make any sense.
He's like
and the cops are kind of like
cigarette away.
The cops are kind of looking at each other like you're an idiot.
Yeah. And
then he walks in the door, and they're like, "This guy's an idiot." So like it's just like, but that was funny. Like that sort of stuff was really good. Anyway, so like. He gets fired for having a gun in a children's hospital, and then while he's on his way back, he ends up killing 3 Wall Street guys who like try to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah,
and
so that's like the inciting incident because he
comes back to that saying like I keep expecting to feel something, but I just don't. Like I don't, and then that's why he like kills his mom, and then he kills the guy who gave him the gun, and like he's sort of realizing that there is nothing there stopping him from doing that.
Yeah, I read this interesting thing about that scene where he kills the 3 Wall Street guys. So I actually quite like that scene because it shows sort of like a bit of foreshadowing, I guess. But the one thing I had read was that he kills the first guy out of like defense.
Yeah.
Kills the second guy. It's like, probably could have let him go. But he hunts down the third guy. Yeah. And so like that sort of gives you the hint or like the clue that no, he's always been.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Yeah.
It's just more like now it's sort of coming out because like he stopped taking medication. Like nobody's checking on him. Nobody's caring for him. And so now it's just out there.
Yeah.
There was no keeping it in now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think like it kind of like, yeah, you're right, foreshadows it, because it kind of shows that, oh yeah, no, he like went out of his way to kill that guy, and then he unloads like 6 rounds into him. Or something
yeah.
Like,
he's like
really
standing over him. He's very obviously dead.
Yeah. So then he kind of like is battling with the fact that he like killed somebody but doesn't really feel anything, and now he's kind of trying to like take his comedy off the ground, and now he's like seeing this new girl.
Yeah.
And it kind of follows you, like it goes through that, and like, and then he's getting no support from his like person, and it kind of pokes at the system being broken because it's all about funding, and if you pull funding, then nothing happens. And
and then he connects.
There's some like thinly veiled like criticisms of stuff like that, and like fair enough, and
it's connected to Thomas Wayne and the Wayne Foundation, like
possibly being corrupt.
And possibly cutting all the
stuff.
Funding, so then that him and all these other people who are using like therapy and having an outlet to get their medication now don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I liked the parallel of like having Thomas Wayne there and having something to relate it to as him like just the normal everyday, like just barely scraping by, to this like big figurehead. And then as the movie kind of goes on, you go like, no, he's imagining so much of this.
Yes.
He's just painting this guy as a bad guy.
Because
this guy
it's
is not
someone to do it too. Yeah.
He's like really like he's maybe not the worst guy, or he really is trying to set up the city. And even that bit where he corners him in the bathroom, you realize like regardless of what he says to him, and regardless of how he says it to the Joker or Arthur Fleck, Arthur really reacts in a way that's like off the deep end. Like he just reacts.
So yeah, that's one bit that I actually really love, is like they sort of keep that as like a true line all the way through, is that he has that like as soon as he hits that level, it's 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Every single time. It's like he's ultra violent, has no sort of control, he just like off the deep end immediately.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that they kept that all the way through, because even with him as a character in the broad sense, that's something that is connected to every single sort of iteration of the Joker. You see him like, what was it where he's like,
unpredictable.
as in the Dark Knight and stuff, where he's all of a sudden just like kicking the shit out of him, trying to beat him up and stuff, sort of just as like fast as he can, because he that's just how he's reacting to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it sort of just makes it seem more in that character.
Yeah, totally.
And I really like that scene where he like sneaks into because then he's unpredictable too. Like he puts on the bellboy costume
like haphazardly,
like totally just slaps it on himself
and distracted by the like play that's happening.
Yeah, he just like he starts enjoying it, and then he's like, "Why am I here again?" And then he sees Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just like that's what I enjoyed about that movie, is that like there was bits like that. There's bits about it where he's unpredictable, and he's painted as unpredictable right off the bat, to the point where it just makes you uncomfortable. You don't know what he's doing. He makes you uneasy. Whether it's like all those weird shirtless, pantless scenes where he's just wearing like men's
his underwear,
triple XL underwear or something. Like it's just weird shit like that. And like when he's painting his hair green, and just how
it's just getting out everywhere.
Doing that. Like it just makes you uncomfortable, because you're like, why are you doing it like that?
Yeah.
But he just cannot physically pay attention to those kinds of details. Like he misses them.
So what do you think about the dancing then? Because like he dances through the entire movie, and it to me it almost seemed like, and I didn't think about this until after, that it almost seemed like a coping. Like he almost does it because he can feel himself sort of getting,
I think you're
like
right,
worked up or getting like,
because he seems to do
something.
it like, but then like I think that's what it signifies through a lot of it, as a kind of a way to like unwind like a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he starts dancing when he's going to the show, like the like late night show.
Yeah.
As just like a way of like celebrating that this is who he is type thing.
He's descending the stairs instead of sort of going up them every day.
Yeah. And I think like those like, again, like sort of a parallel between like he's doing it to not be that, or he needs to do that, and now he just does it because that's who he is.
Sure.
But I think like co-stars in this were good. I think Zazie Beetz was great.
Yeah,
you don't really get her a lot, but like it's
No.
not really her movie. It's
No.
the same with Robert De Niro, who I thought was really good in this.
I thought
Like
he
he
was
could have just
so
like
good.
mailed it in, but he was really great.
he was great. And then
Yeah.
what's his name?
Mark Maron was only in this for a little bit.
yeah, briefly,
Yeah.
which is kind of
He
it was
just
cool
kinda
to see
plays
him.
Mark Maron also
Yeah.
like.
But yeah, I thought Robert De Niro was great.
the
Like
other
it was
clowns
sort
were
of this,
great too.
and I kind of liked Brett. What's his name? Brett Cullen or something. But yeah, I thought De Niro, like him being this sort of like omniscient figure, you know?
Who, Robert De Niro?
Yeah, because like they see him on TV all the time, and everybody watches it. He watches it. He idolizes him. He wants to be on the show so bad. He like imagining it. The ultimate way of like going out
Yeah.
is to shoot himself on that show.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me of like him. I don't know if this is on purpose, but him like almost thinking, how do I get to heaven? And then changing his mind and killing God instead.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
I don't
So
know
he
if that-
wants to get on
yeah.
the show. He finally gets on the show, like getting to heaven or something. And then he finally meets Robert De Niro, who's this
Oh, I
person
see.
who he's
So, like,
idolized
he's
forever.
you're thinking like he's now on like the promised land. Like this is it. Like he's finally made
He
it.
kills the guy who that's it. He's
Yeah.
the guy, and now he's done it.
Yeah, because maybe he sees himself as the guy,
Yeah.
or
So
he
he's
kind.
taking
But
over.
I also think he just kind of takes it out on. He takes out all that frustration on the guy who he thinks is also like inciting a lot of it. too,
Sure,
like-
yeah, or like any sort of like
Person
fatherly
that-
figure, you know,
maybe,
anybody
yeah,
that
yeah.
because of
Yeah,
like his
totally.
history and stuff.
Because he does kind of like allude to that in that like weird fantasy scene where he's
Yeah.
like, I think I would be lucky to have a son like you or something like that.
So yeah, I don't know. This movie it is interesting. Like I was sort of just saw Rotten Tomatoes, and it's at like 69% right now.
Yeah.
Like
I do think it's a divisive movie. I think
for
like,
sure, and that's what I was gonna say.
I think it's more divisive because of the content, not necessarily like how the movie is filmed or acted or whatever. it
or
is.
like history leading up to it.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
So like, yeah, I think like people tend to look at it. Well, it depends. Like if you look at it as a whole, or you look at it individually in different sections or parts or whatever. I think you can sort of like, and I mean that in sort of like the different, what's the word? Like acting and cinematography. Like you look at the different parts of the whole
Yeah.
as a movie, not necessarily like the chapters of the movie, but like as different parts. Then you can sort of judge it differently than like as a movie. Yes or no? Did you like it? And like, I think it's a little bit more of a complicated question with this sort of movie because they really are trying to do a lot, but at the same time, are they really doing that much?
Yeah.
That's what I keep coming back to.
And I keep coming back to that question. I think we talked about on this show or one of the episodes was that is Todd Phillips really the guy to have those answers? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think that this movie was so well made, and Joaquin Phoenix was unbelievable, and the rest of the cast was so good. Like, whoever played his mom was great. Forgot what her name was. Something Conroy. Everybody was great. Joaquin Phoenix was amazing, and like whatever awards that he's gotten through all these different festivals and stuff, I think is very well earned because he was so good. But it's like the content of the movie, like you're saying, like was it handled well? Was it was the message that they're saying, did it have depth to it? And I don't know. That's why I think that's why I'm so like, I don't know if I like this movie or not, because surface level I thought it was great. I enjoyed it front to back.
Yeah, I did too.
The writing for the most part was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, save for a few things, but that just happened. That's just acting was great. Cinematography, like I said, was really, really cool. I like that they chose to do it like this sort of style, like
scummy,
like
stuff,
gritty kind of.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just how it was filmed, the slow-mo, the music, everything was cool. But then, yeah, it was like, is it an interesting movie?
Right.
I don't know. Like, I think it was, but I don't know.
So what do you give it?
Fuck, I don't know. Like, if we're doing it as 7, like maybe 3.5.
Whoa.
4.
I thought you were gonna go higher.
I want to. I'd say my first reaction after seeing it would have been like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like I really enjoyed it, but I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah,
But
I think
I'll
that
say
might be
4.5.
Yeah, maybe I'll change
Because
mine
I think
to that.
I think that there's enough that I really liked it.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's some stuff where, and like you kind of talked about, is like that's what's holding me back on it. Like,
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, 4.5.
4.5. Yeah, I'd say like 4.5. Yeah, kind of on both sides of it.
Yeah. Totally.
But one thing we didn't actually talk about was like the violence was like one thing that
I had heard this movie was violent.
Yeah.
And
that was actually one of the reasons that Georgia wasn't really interested in it. She was sort of worried that it was going to be like too over the top.
I kind of had heard that, and I went into this thinking it was going to be violent, and it actually kind of surprised me on like how not violent it was. I mean, it was violent, hyper violent.
Exclamation marks! Like it was sort of just
it's not like Kill Bill though. Like
no.
You know, like you're not like people aren't losing heads and shit, but like somebody gets stabbed and there's a lot of blood and shit like that, or somebody gets shot in the like 2 people get shot in the head. It's that sort of stuff. Like it's violent.
Yeah.
But I don't like I was expecting like worse, which is horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it's a part of the movie that's definitely gonna define it, I think.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's not something that necessarily defines it for me, but like I think that's just what I expected going into it.
Sure, yeah. And I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we both did this, but I stopped watching the trailers.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, because I was actually really interested in this movie pretty much right from the beginning when Joaquin Phoenix got like attached to it. But I remember like hearing that the same thing, like hearing that violence was sort of a big part of it, but expecting that to be also the case because like that's sort of the nature of this movie. Like, if you were going into like a superhero movie and expecting no violence, at all, like
type of violence. Though,
but it's like the only one that I kind of was like was when he kills his friend.
Or the other
like,
clown,
and he just like keeps going, and it's like okay, and you can like hear everything. That was nasty. But even like when he shoots Robert De Niro, it's coming. There's like the unpredictable part of him. You're like, is he gonna shoot him
or himself? Yeah.
But you know that there's going to be sort of that thing that happens. So then when it actually does happen, it's like, But totally. I did love that they kept showing it on the news. So they had like there was like the TV bit
over and over again.
I was like, oh yeah, no, I saw it. Okay.
That's it.
4.5.
4.5.
4.5. I think this is definitely. And you know what's funny is like this is one of the movies. Usually, I think I have like a good idea of what I want to rate it and whether I liked it or not.
This is a movie I think like talking it out here.
Well, I was gonna say
gave me a way better idea of what I actually thought.
And I made myself like it more.
I think on the way over here I was thinking one thing, and then when I got here I was kind of like, as I started talking, I was like, well, maybe I just didn't like that part and that like part of it type thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it.
Thanks for listening. This has been Twin Speaks. First watch, first listen of Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, directed by Todd Phillips, and written by Todd Phillips and Scott Silver. I've been your co-host, Pat. You can find me on Twitter at @KidCombo_, and I am of course, joined by my twin brother and co-host. You can find him on social media at Animonium. Get at us on Instagram. We're at Twin Speaks Pod. That's I think we'll try and be more active, I guess.
Hopefully in the next little bit.
For a bit. But yeah, there's a bunch of new movies coming out that are out right now. Hopefully catch some of those.
Yeah.
Speaking of Martin Scorsese, he's got The Irishman is playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.